What is up guys, Andy Forresting Runner here, and today is the Running Shoe Awards 2020. So welcome back to another video, and today, yes, it is that time of year. It is the Running Shoe Awards 2020. When we introduced the Running Shoe Awards 2019, it was very well received, and I'm delighted to bring it back this year with more shoes, an extra category, and lots of fun in the process. So I worked out, I've tried over 19 new pairs of shoes this year. Some great, some not so great. We're going to be diving into all of them, categorizing them and giving you winners from each and every category, with of course a runner-up there as well. If you're excited for today's video and to find out the running shoe of 2020, the big award, give the video a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and we'll dive in to the first category. So let's kickstart the award category with the long run shoe of the year. Now just bear in mind as we go through these categories, these are just my opinions, all right? What do I know? I'm just a runner, but I'm giving you my thoughts on these shoes, and I will explain why I've selected each shoe in each category as best as I possibly can. It's all subjective, it's all very much geared to my training. These shoes might not even feature in your list, so just bear that in mind when you're watching these. With that out of the way, the long run shoe of the year, the category nominations are the New Balance Fuel Cell TC, the Saucony Endorphin Speed, the Hoka One One Rocket X, and I can't fit this one up there, the Asics Nova Blast. And this is all based on the fact that I love a long run. I did 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 mile long runs back to back to back all through the summer. Absolutely love the long run, but I don't just like to do my long runs easy. I love to do them moderate, hard, workouts, hills, whatever. I love to do a long run in a variety of ways. Hence why I haven't got any sort of real max cushion, easier plodding shoes, maybe bar the Nova Blast. I've got shoes that are really geared up towards doing long run workouts. Now, as I said, the exception is the Nova Blast. This is a very much a more daily, steady trainer with a lot of stack height in it, and especially without a plate. But I just found myself doing everything with this shoe this year, and I had to include it because I loved doing a long run in this shoe. But with that out of the way, winners, runner-ups, honourable mentions. We'll give an honourable mention to the Hoka One One Rocket X. It just hasn't had enough miles yet. I've only put 32 miles in the shoe. It seems like a cracking shoe, and maybe it would have come higher up the pecking order. But so far, I just haven't put enough in there for it to warrant top spot or second place. Second and third place go to the Nova Blast and the Saucony Endorphin Speed. Both of these absolutely incredible long run shoes, but the winner for me in terms of the long run has to be the New Balance Fuel Cell TC. I've spoken about this shoe enough on my channel. You guys know that when I get rocking and rolling in that shoe on a long run workout, I've not found a better shoe. The cushion, the plate, everything, it just gives you what you want, and I really do feel such minimal fatigue when I'm running in that shoe. I do struggle with the shoe in other paces and other scenarios, but the long run is absolutely the TC's bread and butter. And moving on to category number 2, Need for Speed. Yes, these are the shoes that I have gone to for my speed work. Tempo runs, intervals, marathon pace work, fartleks, hill work, you name it. These are the shoes that I have gravitated towards or really enjoyed running in when we're doing those sorts of runs. Picking up the pace are these things bread and butter. I think I'm going to use that phrase a lot during this award show. And the nominations in this category are the Brooks Hyperion Tempo, Saucony Endorphin Speed, Atreyu base model, and the New Balance Fuel Cell TC. And just like the long category, honourable mention, second and third place, and then of course a winner. The honourable mention is going to go to the New Balance Fuel Cell TC. As I said, an absolute banging shoe when it comes to the long run. For me, in terms of picking up the pace, this shoe has everything. The only downside I found with this shoe is it's so awkward when it comes to any slower paces. So if I'm doing interval work, when I'm on the intervals, it's a dream. When I'm floating, recovering, or doing the easy work, warm-ups, cool-downs, it's just a little bit awkward. Now, the speed in this shoe does outweigh the awkwardness, but it just isn't quite the all-round package. However, I still have found myself gravitating towards this shoe. Second and third place is going to go to the Atreyu base model will be third place, and the Brooks Hyperion Tempo in second place, meaning the winner of this category is the Saucony Endorphin Speed. I do have to say the Atreyu base model has come out this year and absolutely smashed it to pieces. It's been a brilliant shoe that I've really enjoyed, and likewise the Brooks Hyperion Tempo was so close to getting this category, but if the speed wasn't such an incredible shoe, the Hyperion Tempo would have won it. All of these shoes in this category I've really enjoyed, but the speed just has to take the crown. And moving on to category number 3, the easy day shoe. The shoes that I've really enjoyed when I've just gone out there, done some recovery miles, done some easy running, just want to slip them on and really enjoy the comfort that these shoes provide. And the nominations for this category are the Asics Nova Blast, the New Balance 1080 version 10, the Atreyu base model, and the Hoka One Rincon. Now I have to say that this one's an interesting one because last year the Rincon V1 was indeed my shoe of the year. I haven't quite enjoyed this as much this year. That's only down to the fact that I think I've just tried so many more shoes this year. So the magic in this shoe does feel like it's gone a little bit, but it's still an absolutely incredible shoe. And unlike last year, where I found myself gravitating towards this for the speedier stuff and racing, this year I've really enjoyed this for the easy day stuff, hence why it has been placed in the easy category. And with that said, we'll do as before, honourable mention, second and third place, and the winner. So we'll start with this one, honourable mention for the Rincon. As I said, the magic isn't quite there, but I have really enjoyed this one. A good amount of cushion in this shoe, still lively, still poppy, still responsive, and a great one for those easy days. Second and third place is going to go to third place, the Atreyu once again. Another cracking shoe to make the category top 4. Absolutely just enjoyed it. Lightweight, the least amount of stack height in all the shoes, but the cushioning when you break it in this shoe is absolutely beautiful. I've loved every second in that shoe, whatever pace I'm going, but I did really enjoy slipping it on for the easy runs. Second place, just behind first place, is the New Balance 1080 version 10, and the winner of the category is the Asics Nova Blast. Yes, the Nova Blast has been a shoe that I have put the most miles in this year, and the easy days and the recovery days. What's actually cemented this is more recently I've gravitated towards the shoe as I've been recovering from maybe a bit of plantar fasciitis or just coming back from a marathon. I've appreciated the cushion, the bounce, the protection that shoe gives me. So that cemented its place as the winner in this category. But if it wasn't for the New Balance 1080 version 10, I would not have tried as many New Balance shoes this year. And I have to say it's an absolute cracking runner-up. Moving on to category number 4, trail shoe of the year. Now, in 2019's video, it was a little bit of a joke because I only tried the Nike Pegasus Trail 36 shoe. This year, I've doubled my trail shoe intake. We've tried 2 shoes. So really, this isn't a fair category. And to be straight off the bat and perfectly honest with you, I'm not going to give a winner in this category. We've got the Ultra Olympus 4 and the Hoka One Rincon 2. 2 totally different shoes. Very hard for me to compare. But what I am going to say is I'm very grateful to try both of these shoes. Both are incredible in what they do. The Ultra Olympus 4 is my first ever Ultra and the only shoe in this list that I was gifted for the purpose of review. Every other shoe I purchased with my own money. That has been brilliant for easy days on the trails. Was using it a lot when I was training for my mountain marathon, and again just super comfortable and an easy shoe to transition to that zero drop due to the bigger stack height in the shoe. The Hoka One Rincon was bought bought for my mountain marathon for the race a lighter, poppier trail shoe that's a little bit more lively, and actually that's a shoe that I have now crested well over the 100-mile mark. In fact, I'm nearly up to 120 miles in. I'm finding myself using that more and more at the moment, just because I'm going out there running some easy and moderate runs on the trails where it's a bit slippier, and that's a little bit easier to go towards than the Ultra Olympus, because it allows me in those moderate runs to pick up the pace just a little bit more. So very hard to compare, but both incredible shoes. And we move on to the fifth category, the racing shoe of 2020. Now, I have 4 shoes in this award pot as per all the others, and actually it's the only 4 racing shoes that I have tried this year. Sadly, a lot of manufacturers just do not want to make UK size 13 shoes. Asics, Adidas, Brooks, New Balance, what are you playing at, people? Come on, give us bigger runners, the sizes that we need so that we can get the racing shoes. But having said that, I'm super grateful to Nike, to Saucony, to Hoka for allowing me to run in their racing shoes, because those guys have indeed given my size. So the nominations in this category are the Hoka One Rocket X, the Saucony Endorphin Pro, the Nike Zoom X Vaporfly Next Percent, and the Hoka One Carbon X, which I don't sadly have in my possession anymore. Now, as always, honourable mention, second and third place, and the winner. This is the hardest of the lot because I toyed with how I should award the shoe of the year, and if I say it right now, if you've been watching recently some of the videos, you'll know exactly when I say this next sentence which shoe has won this category, so I'm not going to say it. An honourable mention goes to the Carbon X, another brilliant shoe from Hoka, not quite on the level of, let's say, the Pro and the Next Percent, but it was a great, for me, starting racing shoe for them. I know they had other racing shoes before, but it was a good entry level in, and the Rocket X has bumped up from that again, hence why the Rocket X has come in third place. Second place is going to go to the Saucony Endorphin Pro, which means the winner of this category, probably as expected, is the Nike Zoom X Vaporfly Next Percent. This was a really hard decision, but I decided to base it on performance, because ultimately that's what you guys want from a racing shoe. In terms of comfort and fit, the Saucony Endorphin Pro wins hands down any day. I much prefer that shoe fit-wise, the way it feels, and I love running in it. But performance, I just can't look past the Next Percent. And we're all out there to, not to win races, but we're all out there to do our best in races. And so we have to judge this based on a performance aspect. And therefore, the Next Percent is the winner. And we move on to the penultimate category and the new category, the flop of the year. Flop of 2020, the shoe that just did not do it for me. We have no B-roll for this because I do not have any of these shoes in my possession anymore. And the nominees in this category, there's only 3 of them because realistically I only had 3 that I really just didn't get on with. The Saucony Kinvara 11, the Nike React Miler, and the best of the best, the Nike, I don't even know the full, I can't even remember the full name of it, the Tempo Next Percent. Now for me personally, these 3 shoes I just did not get on with. Some, which I'll explain very shortly, were reasons just because of me, the runner, and some were absolutely dreadful. So let's go into it from third place through to first place. The third place shoe is the Saucony Kinvara 11. It was the least worst out of the shoe, and for me personally, it was just a shoe that I didn't get on with. There was nothing wrong with the shoe, it wasn't bad as such. It just didn't fit the way I ran. When I ran in it, I felt like I was running in a pair of Converse, a pair of Daps. It was just a very weird shoe to run in. So they didn't really last more than 30 miles and I got rid of those pretty sharpish. Nothing wrong with them because I know a lot of you guys love the Kinvara series and that's fine. I cannot slate them for that. Just not a shoe that worked for me. The second place is the React Miler. That was once again a shoe that was 417 grams in my size, like a ridiculous weight shoe, a shoe that was just excessive. It felt like I was running in a hiking shoe. I tell you what though, I managed to get it to 100 miles. And once I'd done that, I then walked in it for the rest of the year and I wore that shoe to pieces. And I've only just in the last week put it out for recycling because I've literally worn through the outsole. It became my daily shoe. So to be fair, it got its use eventually. Just not running, it ended up being my walking shoe. And that leaves the Tempo Next Percent to take the top spot. I'm not going to say anything more than if you don't know my thoughts and feelings on that shoe, make sure you head back onto the channel, search up my Tempo Next Percent first impressions review and the speed and long run test review, and you'll see exactly what I think about that shoe. And we move on to the final and biggest category, the running shoe of 2020. This is the big one. This is the shoe that has blown me away this year. And already I'm going to say it straight off the bat. There are two shoes that have absolutely knocked my socks off, but there are another two in this category that really deserve to be in there. So the nominations for this category are the Asics Nova Blast, the Saucony Endorphin Speed, the New Balance Fuel Cell Prism, and the Nike Zoom X Vaporfly Next Percent. Now, we'll start with the honourable mention. We'll go second and third place, and then announce the winner. I'm going to say it straight off the bat. Second and first place are the Speed and the Nova Blast. And the reason I'm saying that now is because you guys know that's what it is. If you've been following the channel, you know those two shoes have blown me away. But I feel like I want to put the Next Percent in and the Prism in, despite the Prism not featuring in any of the categories. Let me explain why. The Next Percent is going to get the honourable mention. It's not third place, it's the fourth place honourable mention. And the reason being, this shoe, or this category I should say, is a category that for me takes in all the factors: versatility, durability, and how it's performed. This thing in terms of performance is absolutely incredible. Like, I genuinely, from a race perspective, as I said, there isn't a better shoe out there. That pains me to say it because I don't really get on with Nike shoes, but this thing is in a league of its own, and it deserves, just for that reason, to be in the final showdown. With that out of the way, the third place is going to be the New Balance Fuel Cell Prism, a shoe that hasn't featured in any of the categories, but I tell you what, it is an absolute all-round belter of a shoe. It hasn't particularly excelled at anything, but it's been good at everything. And do you know what? That counts for so much. And another reason it's in there is because the durability in this shoe is gonna be massive. I've recently picked it back up. I'm now over 100 miles in it. It feels as good as new, and it's something that I could go easy, tempo, long run, everything. It blows my mind, this shoe. As I said, a shoe that maybe I wouldn't say is top of the charts for everything, but a shoe that just does everything well. And that deserves in itself to be in the final. So that leaves us with first and second place. And the runner-up in this category is going to be the Saucony Endorphin Speed, meaning the winner, as you guys know, is the Asics Nova Blast. Now, I called this back when I got the Nova Blast. I said straight away in my first impressions video, and you can go back and watch that video, I said this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is shoe of the year. And that was a bold statement to make all those months ago. But the only shoe, and to be honest with you, I was worried. I thought there'd be more shoes coming out that would challenge it, and the only shoe that has come close to that is the Saucony Endorphin Speed. And the only reason the Speed hasn't quite pipped the Nova Blast to the post is because the Nova Blast has over 300 miles in it and the Saucony Endorphin Speed has about 130 miles in it. And that shows you how I'm gravitating towards the Nova Blast so much more than any other shoe. The miles speak for themselves. I think it just aren't. It would be criminal if I gave it to the Speed, just because the Nova Blast has been my most heavily used shoe of the year. The Nova Blast, that Flight Foam Blast, just blows my mind, and I really hope they implement it into more shoes in 2021, because honestly, that midsole is top of the charts. So there we go, that is the running awards, the Running Shoe Awards 2020 done and dusted. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with my choices. What are your running shoe category winners? Go through the categories that I've listed, tell me what your favorites are, and let's get that discussion going. As you saw in the B-roll, there are plenty of shoes in there, shoes that haven't even made the list. The Pegasus 37, the Asics Dynablast, so a couple of examples that I've got this year and have just been downright mediocre. Nothing particularly special and don't deserve to be in any of these, but at the same time they haven't been poor, they've just been a shoe that haven't really blown me away. New Balance Fresh Foam Tempo is another great example, but I hope I've done it justice this year. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope you've appreciated all of the shoes that I've tested. If you have, let me know in the comments below the shoes you'd love to see me test in 2021. We're going to be grabbing a couple of pairs in January. I'm just cycling through some of the older shoes this year in December, finishing off the year, putting some more miles in some of the ones that I love. But 2021 is going to be a good year. So if you enjoyed today's video, guys, make sure you give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content, and as always, I'll see you on the next one. Until then.